So you're thinking about moving to Lubbock. Great thought. But there's a slew of questions that you probably need to answer in your own mind before you move here, and you need to get those questions answered. So guess what? Today, that's what I'm here to do for you. Let's get right into it with numero uno. Okay, number one is going to be all the basic questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. I would say how is probably the most important question. Lubbock is kind of isolated. We've talked about it in previous videos. It's kind of far away from other things. Are you going to take a large minivan? Are you going to take a cargo plane? Regular plane? What are you going to take? And how and then when are you going to do it? Is it going to be in 6 months, in 12 months? Now, I get calls and texts from people all the time and emails daily, almost just about, wanting to move to Lubbock or just Texas in general. And they're like, you know, I'm thinking about moving in 12 months. I'm thinking about moving. That's great. That's totally fine. But know your time frame. I think that's a very important thing that people miss out a lot. Is when I talk to people on the phone who are thinking about moving to Lubbock, I want to know. One of the first things I want to know is when. Then we get into how. And if you want to, then it's if you want to buy, if you want to rent, what do you want to do? Yeah. We answer those questions later. But you know, definitely very important things to know there, time frame wise. Extremely important. So that's numero uno. I would definitely get with your spouse. I know you're on the couch right now. You're eating a nice hot bowl of oatmeal with brown sugar and cinnamon, and you're loving this video. And if you do, you should like, and maybe if you're watching on TV, you're probably not going to comment, but you can subscribe on TV. But yeah, talk about it, figure it out, boom. Number two, this is a big one. This is a very hot button issue, and I want to get into less of the stats and the facts and the data, even though they're supported by this, but I want to get into the feel and the personality of it. Is Lubbock too conservative? Now, I don't know why that would be a problem, but it is for some people. The majority of people that I do talk to on the phone about moving to Lubbock, they want to move there because it is a conservative city. I've talked about it over and over again. I feel like I have a wand right now. I'm Andrew Baxter, and you're watching Disney Channel. But anyway, people want to know a lot about the politics and how conservative it is. Now, I will say definitively that Lubbock is a very welcoming, inviting, friendly city. Doesn't matter what creed, what background, what color you are. People just tend to be very down to earth and kind in Lubbock. It's kind of one of those places where it's like, you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you, but I'll also be nice to you if you don't mess with me. It's got the old, you know, but if you do mess with those people, then they probably will turn on you and might even shoot you. It's kind of got one of the old like Christian Bible Belt, do unto others as you would have them do unto you sort of thing. Be kind to others and they will be kind to you sort of vibe. Now I will say, diplomatically, policy-wise, Lubbock is very conservative, and that's something to consider for sure when moving here, because you're gonna see Trump signs, which it's looking like he's gonna be the nominee. You're gonna see Trump signs everywhere. Off the highway, a dude who sells flags that say like F Joe Biden and all that stuff. So definitely consider that when you are asking these questions to yourself, your piece of paper that's in front of you, your wife, your husband, your kids, your grandma. Number three, will I fit into the culture? This one's pretty self-explanatory and easy. Chances are it's a big yes, unless you're like a serial killer or murderer. I mean, and you're maybe doing something bad, you know, you might end up getting shot. Someone might pull out their gun and shoot you. So that's the only way I could see you maybe not fitting into the culture, which if you are one of those people, I don't want you there anyway. So stop watching my videos actually and never talk to me again. But yeah, I would say that most, like everyone's gonna fit into the culture. Even the college students who are protesting and who are communist, Marxist people on campus and they have blue hair and, you know, they hate everyone who's white. They fit into the culture of Lubbock because they are, you know, still there, still accepted, still loved. They're, you know, maybe not like everyone else around them, but they're still accepted. This is number four. What kind of lifestyle will I live? Will I be a farmer? Will I be a rancher? Will I put dip in my mouth and sit on my porch and yell at my wife and my dog and spit tobacco into a big old iron bowl? I don't know. If you want, sure. You can do that in Lubbock. But if not, if you want to do like a normal thing, you can do that too. We've got white collar jobs, blue collar jobs, redneck jobs, all sorts of jobs. So chances are if you do move to Lubbock, unless you're extremely independently wealthy, you will have to work. So think about that. There's a lot of people that work in the oil field that drive out to Midland or Pecos or wherever. Some of the tenants and rental houses that my dad and I own, They are the nicest folks ever, make tons of money in the oil field. They just like to drive out there and do their thing there, and didn't want to buy, just wanted to rent. Completely okay. That's also something that you might want to consider. Do I want to rent or buy? Either one, give me a call. Lifestyle, getting back to lifestyle. I think it just depends on who you are already and what you're bringing to the city with you. There's something for everyone. If you like to go clubbing, we've got a fun amount of clubs that you can get a totally different mixture of things that you could be doing, even down to like the minute detail of what kind of person you're into club. Don't ask me how I know that. I have to know everything about Lubbock. That's my thing. I know everything about Lubbock. So lots of clubs for nightlife people. If you don't want to do that, you can live in a nice neighborhood that's further away from anything like that. It's going to be more quiet. That's one of the better things about Lubbock too, is at night you don't hear the highway just if you live far enough outside of town, which isn't that far, like 10 minutes maybe. So what kind of lifestyle would you live? That's totally up to you. Think about it, journal it, talk to your mom about it, talk to your dad about it, talk to your children about it, and your spouse. Go. Number 5, this is a good one. Am I too far from my family? Lubbock is pretty far from everything. It's kind of on an island of its own, with the closest major city being like 300 miles away, which is Dallas. So that's for sure something you need to put in your mind's eye and the conveyor belt of your brain when you're thinking about things. You probably will have to take a flight to Dallas from Lubbock, then to anywhere else in the country if you want to fly anywhere, except Vegas, which is great. We love that. The drive is a brutal slug up from D-Town or San Antonio, or especially Houston. 8 hours from Houston, 6 from Austin, 5 from Dallas. It can be atrocious, and it is boring. The drive sucks. It's so flat. There's nothing but wind turbines for the last 2.5 hours, which piss me off. So you're gonna catch all that stuff, and that's something that you need to consider. If you don't want to be too far from your family, then maybe think about moving here. Seriously consider it. If you do want to be far from your family, I would say it's a great place. Now, like I said, flight to Dallas, stone's throw away. It's a 45-minute flight. I usually get to the airport in Lubbock like an hour before my flight, and that's including getting through security. I don't think I've ever waited in line at security for more than 15 minutes in the Lubbock airport, and that's probably on the long end. Now, if you have a flight at a hot time, like a very popular time, don't do that. Maybe do an hour and a half. But if you schedule a flight for maybe like a 6 o'clock flight on a Wednesday, probably Gucci, but you're flying either Dallas or Houston and then elsewhere in the country. So consider that. Okay, number 6, here we go. Do I need a tornado shelter? I don't think so. I'm gonna say no, but I don't wanna be held personally liable if you don't get one. But tornadoes just don't happen all that often in Lubbock. I know we've got a stigma about it, and we're flat and we're at the bottom of Tornado Alley, but I would say you don't need one. There are a lot of houses with tornado shelters in Lubbock, but there are way more without them. There are houses with basements, so I think that's kind of what they were going for back in the 70s and 80s, when they probably were starting to say, okay, we probably need to build some more houses with basements because people that's what they want, because after the big tornado in the 1970s, it like probably scared a ton of people. We have not seen anything close to that catastrophic since 50 years. I'd say your odds are pretty good. Just bathtub and mattress. That's what they do everywhere else, and I think you're gonna be good that way. Number 7, do I need to be a fan of Texas Tech? In short, probably yes. I would definitely work on being a fan of Texas Tech, or at least like putting a doormat out that says Wreckham with a TT logo, or maybe have one piece of memorabilia in your house. You will do much better in Lubbock if you do have that. People bleed crimson and black. They love Texas Tech in Lubbock, which why would you not? Tech is a really cool school. I went there myself and I really enjoyed it. I love the architecture, I love the culture, I love the vibe, I love the people I met. You know, it's just a solid all-around place. But the sports are a big deal for us because it is our go-to team. So I would at least maybe try to. Now, of course, we get people from Austin who went to UT who move up and they're like, well, we hated you guys back in the day, but we're not in the same conference anymore. So UT is going to the SEC and we'll see how that goes for them. But yeah, I would definitely consider getting at least 1 or 2 pieces of tech merch. Think about it. Think about it! Number 8 is, what will I do? That's a fantastic question. We've talked about that at length. I'm talking about for work specifically. What will I do for work? Will I be in healthcare? Will I work for tech? Will I work for one of the universities? Someone who wants to get my hands dirty? Will I work on cars? Will I work on planes? Will I work in the farm or the field or the ranch or wherever? Will I maybe work in real estate, which is what I did. These are all things that you definitely need to consider. 100%. Now, Lubbock is cheaper than everywhere else pretty much nationwide to live. We've beaten that horse to death. But you still need to have some income coming in. You still need to get a job. The healthcare system is great in Lubbock, very robust. The education system is fantastic with public schools to tech to LCU to South Plains. Real estate is absolutely booming off the chizang. It is going crazy. Anything real estate related, electrician, plumbing, home inspection, roofer, foundation, you name it. Concrete, there's jobs for everyone. I mean, I would recommend having that down and knowing kind of what you're gonna do before you move to Lubbock. Ideally have a job lined up. It's probably a good place to come to if you don't, but you have some savings. Depends on the person and how you are and how you vibe and what you wanna do, but I would try to look for something prior to moving, then get something locked up, then move. Good call to do that. Anyway, those were the 8 questions you should for sure have when thinking about moving to Lubbock, Texas. Oh, also here's a question, number 9, that I'm gonna answer for you right now. Yes, give me a call. Yes, shoot me an email. I'm 1 call, 1 click away, a couple typing messages on the keyboard, but I'm here to answer questions. Just don't call me at 12:30 a.m., okay? I'm probably doing something else. Be respectful of my time, please, just a little bit, and call me at hours that I'd probably be working, not 12:30 at night. I'm not gonna answer then, so consider that. Anyway, why hear it from me about Lubbock when you can hear from the locals? Click this video right here, and it will show me interviewing Lubbock locals, and they'll tell you what they have to say about the city. So click that right here, and also like and subscribe. Yeet, yah, boom.